Hey all, here are OS reviews. So TWS true wireless earbuds have become very popular over the past few months, and although it's no longer completely new to the market, I'm still seeing a lot of requests for the Xiaomi Redmi AirDots, which is why we're taking a look at them today. As with anything under the Redmi line, it's super affordable but tries to strike a balance between the quality and also the affordability. In this case, they sell for under 30 bucks, which is super cheap compared to, say, the Apple AirPods, which sell for over $200, and they connect using the latest Bluetooth 5.0. Other specifications include 12-hour of combined battery life with the case, so they last for 4 hours on a single charge, and the battery case can charge them up 3 times when on the road, which is average, I'd say. I've definitely seen longer battery life out of the Bluetooth 5.0 generation earbuds. Some of them can last up to 6 hours on a single charge, and with a larger battery case can stretch for 60 to 100 hours, but they also sell more than the Xiaomi version here. So inside of the box, we do have some spare silicone tips to get a more comfortable fit. Again, they are in-ear style earbuds. We also have a quick instruction manual for how to wear them, and we have just the battery case itself. There's a protective film which we can quickly slide out like so. Now there are kind of two different packaging versions floating around on the internet. One version which says Xiaomi on the top, one which says Redmi, but they're basically for the exact same product. The battery case is pretty small. It's very petite and compact, easy to take with you when on the road. It's also lighter than the Apple AirPod case by comparison. The size of the two cases are actually about the same, as you can see there, so both are really easy to just tuck away into a pocket, and you can tell how much larger the soundpeats are in terms of their external size, so that's going to be a lot more heft that you're carrying around. The lid here closes magnetically with a satisfying click, and then on the back we also have the micro USB port for charging up the earbuds. Some basic specs are printed on the bottom of the battery case, and otherwise the design of the actual earbuds themselves are very kind of plain. They're not anything to write home about, but they are familiar and they're comfortable. They're held into place magnetically, and they charge using these two pogo contact points, and they automatically turn on when removed from the battery case, and they automatically turn off and begin charging when you pop them back in. So basically the earbuds themselves have the same shape and design as the battery case, so it's very cohesive, also made out of a polycarbonate plastic that's light but also feels quite sturdy. They are going to be sweat and light waterproof, and the front here acts as a single key that you can tap on to play and pause your music and answer or reject a phone call. Here it is against the Apple AirPods, so you can tell that the AirDots are much smaller. They're missing the stem that's dragging downwards, and again they are going to be completely in-ear. That seals in noise a little bit better if you want to enjoy your music, compared to the AirPods, which are semi-in-ear. That's a bit more transparent. In a direct head-to-head comparison with the Apple AirPods, I would say the sound quality isn't anything worse. In fact, some folks actually say it's even better, just because it seals in more noise, and with earbuds in particular, the seal is super important. Once properly inserted, they actually have a lot of punch in terms of bass as far as earbuds go. So if you're listening to drum beats, if you're listening to EDM type music, you would definitely enjoy the experience on these. They connect within 5 seconds or so once you have them paired with your phone, and there's no real latency problems. If you play and pause a track on YouTube, everything stays synced, the video as well as the audio on the two sides as well as to the phone. So everything is very smooth, very responsive. Now, one thing I do want to point out is Xiaomi are using a form of noise canceling. I still wouldn't call it active noise canceling to the same extent as Bose or larger over-ear style headphones. Those are much more effective, but it does seem to work a little bit if you are in a really loud and crowded room of people, maybe on a subway. It does seem to drown out a little bit of that background noise by injecting a bit of noise into the sound. So you can hear a bit more of a slight hiss. Still wouldn't call these hi-fi, high-res audio or audiophile grade earbuds, because at the end of the day they are still very much affordable. They're perfectly great for listening to casual music, for podcasts, for pop music, for rock, EDM, working out. They do a great job of those cases, but if you're expecting the most detail, the most resolution, and free from 100% of distortion, because again you can still hear a little bit of that hiss in the background, you would have to still turn to probably wired earbuds for that. When it comes to areas of potential improvement, I do like the tactile sensation of a physical key compared to touch. However, I do think that touch makes a bit more sense on earbuds, just because when these are already inserted into your ears, you don't have to really press too hard to trigger something. Right now, each time that you press down, it kind of adds some pressure onto your ears because of the physical key compared to a light touch that you'll get from the Apple AirPods or some of its competitors, for example. So this is more secure, but also maybe not quite as comfortable each time that you want to press the button because they are already very tight into your ears and just goes in even more. And maybe in the future they could also use USB Type-C to get the latest standard for charging. But other than that, I think that this is already a great first generation pair of really affordable true wireless earbuds that proves, again, you don't have to spend an arm or a leg to get a pair that sounds good. But other pairs that come close would probably be from QCY and Syllable. They also make a few pairs which are pretty close, I'd say, these days with Bluetooth 5.0. They're not quite as well known and not as respected as Xiaomi in terms of the brand name recognition. But overall, I would say that it is certainly one of the better values if you're looking for just the cheapest pair on the market, but still performs a lot better than expected. So you can check out more details if interested in the links down below, but for now, that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. That's been the Xiaomi Redmi AirDots True Wireless Bluetooth 5.0 earbuds.